Welcome, everyone. We've got another minute or so before we hit the start time. And we've got quite a few coming in here last minute, so we might give it 1 minute past the start time to let them all get in. Tonight's webinar will run right about 30 minutes or so, so we will have those of you concerned out of here in time to make our presidential debate, if that's something you were wondering about. Be with you here in just a minute. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to the latest of Autel's information and training webinars. Before we get started and I hand things off to Jonathan and Chad for tonight's presentation, I wanted to take care of a couple of quick housekeeping items for you. On your screen, you should see a small control panel somewhere on it like we see appearing right now. That little red arrow at the top will let you minimize it to make more of the screen display the presentation for you. But I wanted to call your attention to a couple of the banners to make sure you're able to use. First up, if you look down along that control panel, you'll see a banner labeled Handouts. If you click on it to open it up, the little triangle, you'll see that you're able to download the sales flyer on the product in tonight's presentation so that you can keep that for yourselves. The other one just above it is the questions bar. Now, there's several hundred of you in the room with us, so it's not possible to do a regular chat like a simple meeting would be, but you can type your questions in there. There's a couple of us aside from the presenters that will be able to answer those questions during the webinar for you. If for some reason we're not able to get to all the questions, we will make sure and answer those by email in the next couple of days. Finally, I want to let everybody know that Autel had a lot of major new product and category announcements scheduled for this year's Apex and SEMA show. Of course, we know what happened to those events with them having to go virtual, and we will be participating. But you also want to be heads up and looking out for additional webinars and Autel's own digital virtual event to show you all of the exciting new products and items that'll be coming up between now and the end of the year. So with that, I'm going to pass the ball over to Jonathan and Chad for tonight's presentation. Jonathan, take it away.
Hello, I'm Jonathan with Autel. Today, we are here to introduce you to our newest product category from Autel Diagnostics. Autel is proud to announce our innovative line of battery diagnostic and testing equipment. To find out more about these exciting new products and a demonstration of how they work, let's visit our friend Chad in our Research and Development Center in Indianapolis, Indiana, where we will get to see the new BT608 in action. Chad?
Thank you, Jonathan, and everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chad from Autel Diagnostics, and welcome to the shop. It is a good day. It's a good day because we get to release a brand new line of battery testers from Autel Diagnostics. And that's right, I said it, a completely new line of battery testers and electrical analyzers done the Autel way. And those testers are going to start with the release of the BT608. Now, the BT608 is not your normal, common, everyday battery tester, and I'll show you why. Because it is based on an Android platform. That's right, we have an Android 5.5 screen running on Android 9.0. It is a touch screen and making it very easy to work with. And it's not just a fancy screen. This tester gives us the ability to test cold cranking amp ranges from 100 to 3,000 cold cranking amps. It gives us the ability to test 6 volt and 12 volt batteries, 12 volt and 24 volt charging systems, and a full range of batteries. Lead acid batteries, AGM spiral. We have our EFB batteries and our gel batteries. We can test in many different ways. Cold cranking amps, SAE. So depending where you are in the world, it'll work with the battery style that you have in your vehicles. There's also some neat tricks that Autel has done to get away from that, well, you know, that old-fashioned charge and retest. Yeah, I hate that as well. So what Autel has done is taking our conductance technology to a new level. This adaptive conductance technology gives us the ability to test batteries that are even in a state of low charge or of discharge. This gives us the ability to test these batteries with the less frequent charge and retest that you're used to seeing. This gives us a highly reliable battery test without making our customer go away for 45 minutes so we can test the battery, just to come back to tell them that their battery is bad anyway. So the adaptive conductance technology is a great addition and a great feature to the BT608 and the rest of the line of Autel battery testers and electrical analyzers. One of the other big things that we know that customers always forget for some reason, or just bypass or skip, is going to be the temperature compensation. Because to properly test a battery, we have to know what the temperature of that battery is. And a lot of times with that sensor being on the back of the scan tool, we just don't do it right. So Autel has taken a different approach to that. And that comes down to the leads for the battery tester. So let's talk about the leads. If you look at the connection side of the tool, you'll see we have a positive connection. This gives us the ability to spin on and have a positive lock so that tool cannot become unplugged. If we look at the clamp side, you'll see that we have a very small profile on the clamps. This gives us the ability to get into those tight spaces and to clamp onto those side post batteries. But also it gives us the ability to go nice and wide to be able to get onto those top post batteries. But do you see it? Do you see that? Right in there. That is our temperature sensor. So the Autel engineering team has built the temperature sensor into the leads. That way we don't have to worry about making sure we get the temperature sensor in the right spot. It will actually automatically detect the temperature of the battery whenever you connect to it. So that's a pretty smart addition to the tool. And these are disconnectable, so they are also a serviceable and replaceable item. The other big piece in the BT608 kit is going to be the V200. This is a Bluetooth VCI. It has a little light in there so we can connect it to the car and see where we're going. But why? Why do we need to be able to plug in to OBD2 for a battery tester? That's a great question, but I'm going to pass it back over to Jonathan because we're going to talk about that here in a moment.
Thank you, Chad. And wow, that does look like a very exciting new tool. But can it also print out testing reports and store the testing data?
Thank you, Jonathan, and that is a great question. And the answer to that is, yeah. How do you want it? Because there's multiple different ways that you can get a report from the BT608 to you, your customer, or your service writer. Lots of different options. But to do that, let's go through a battery test together, and I'll show you the different options as far as the print reports go. So if you could please put my screen up. Thank you very much. So now you see the screen that I am working with, and let's do this together. So we are going to do an out of vehicle test because all I want to test is the battery. So I'm already connected to the battery on the car, so we'll do out vehicle test. And we can select what battery we are doing. So we're doing a 12 volt. This is a flooded. Cold cranking amps is 600, which is already there. So we are going to click start test. Battery detection and process, and complete. So this battery is in healthy condition. We have a good state of charge, good voltage, measure capacity at 604 on a 600 cold cranking amp battery, so that is excellent. Now, our next step is to click on report, but I want to show you something before I do that. Look up in the top right corner of the screen. You see that little picture of a battery? It shows the battery voltage all the time when you're testing a battery. So right now this battery voltage is at 12.3, and that gives you an indication when you're connected correctly to the battery. So that way you know I have a good connection, I can move forward. All right, back to it. So let's go ahead and click report. Now you'll see at the bottom there's two options. There's print and email. So if we select email, our email browser will pop up and we can email that directly to our service writer, directly to our customer, directly to our own inbox for our paperwork. So there's lots of different options there. We're going to select print, and that is going to come out the built-in thermal printer. So we'll click print, and it is processing. There it is. So now we have a print off that we can hand to our customer. Customers don't trust us, but they trust a piece of paper. So now we can hand them that printout. But also on that reports page, I'll show you this. If you look up in the top right corner where that battery used to be, there's a picture of a piece of paper with a pencil there. If we select that, we can change the title of that. So we can change that to the customer's name if we wanted to. We can go all the way down to the bottom, and we can also put our shop information and the technician that is working on it. So some pretty good stuff that we can build into that report. So let's go ahead and cancel out of that, and I'm going to show you how to send it to your printer or the service writer. So one of the beautiful things about this tool is that it is Wi-Fi, and if we are on the same network as our shop's main computer, we can send that PDF directly to the service writer's desk, and that's a pretty simple process. So we're going to go ahead and back out of here. We're going to go all the way back to the main screen, and all the tests that we've done are going to be saved in our data manager. So we'll select the data manager icon, and then we will select tested vehicles. Now, these are all the vehicles that we've tested, and it's going to actually break it down into three categories, whether it's a battery test, a diagnostics, or service. We're going to select that last one that we just did, so we're going to highlight that one. And then you'll look down at the bottom, and you'll have three more icons. So we have PDF, we have a printer icon, and then we have a picture of a paper airplane. So if we select that PDF icon, it's going to create a print file, and you can see that PDF view. So if we wanted to go unplug this and go to our customer and show them, hey, here's all the information about your vehicle. We can show them the flooded type battery, we can show them the voltage, we can show them the measured capacity, we can show them all that information directly from that PDF. Let's go back. If we click the printer icon, what that will do is it will actually search for the printer network on the Wi-Fi. So it's searching for our PC suite. We can select that. It's going to go directly to our computer, and it's going to pop up, and it's actually, I have mine set up to save as a PDF. So I've essentially just sent my PDF directly to my service writer. My service writer can then print that directly from the computer through the printer. Now, if you have yours set up on automatic print, as soon as you do that, it's going to show up on the computer, and then it'll automatically come out the printer. So some pretty good options when it comes to getting your report from the tool to you or to the customer. Jonathan, back to you.
Chad, honestly, those are all great features. But what sets this battery tester apart from the other testers that are in the market? I mean, come on, Autel is known for adding features the competition just can't compete with. Are there any other functions that we should know about?
Jonathan, that is a really huge question, because Autel has packed a lot of information and a lot of tool in this little guy. And so let's start with some of the basics. Let's start with, how do I get the information of the car into the tool? Well, remember that VCI that I showed you, the V200, this gives us the ability to plug directly into the vehicle, and that can connect to our BT608 via Bluetooth. So now we can transfer the information like year, make, model, VIN directly to the tool. But why is that important? Well, because we have partnered with Battery Counselor International. BCI is the go-to source for OE specifications when it comes to batteries. So we have all of the battery specifications and all the OE recommended battery sources built into the tool. Now we can take all the information directly from the car, plug it into the tool, and that can compare it to our VCI information, and we can actually tell you what battery this car is supposed to have and what cold cranking amps the OE recommends. Okay, that's pretty fancy stuff, but how does that help us? Well, if you can't see your battery, so maybe the battery is into the trunk and it's got all kinds of covers on it and all you can see is the top posts, or maybe the battery has all the stickers removed and you can't see what the cold cranking amps of that battery is. This gives us the ability to test that battery against what the factory specifications are. If it tests below what the battery specifications are supposed to be, we know that that battery is bad. So that's a pretty cool feature from our partners at BCI, Battery Council International. But a lot of our European cars, we also have to register that battery after we have replaced it. So if we're working on a BMW, a Volkswagen, even some of our newer Ford products, they require a battery registration to be completed after that battery is replaced. So now we have connection to the OBD2 port. We have all of the battery registration information built into the tool thanks to our MaxiBAS integration under our service icon. That gives us the ability to do our battery registrations directly from the tool after the battery has been replaced. But what about some of our cars that after the battery is dead, it throws a code in every stinking module there is? We've got a solution for that as well. So with the BT608, if we go under diagnostics, we can read and clear codes in all modules directly from the OBD2 port. So we can clear out all those voltage related codes that have popped up due to the battery being dead or the battery being switched out. So that gives us the ability to read and clear codes in all modules. A pretty simple process through that diagnostics button. Okay, so we have the vehicle information. We have the Battery Council International information. Where's the battery located? We can tell you that as well. By using that battery location information, we can tell you exactly where the battery is located. So if you have a technician that's not familiar with that vehicle or can't find the battery, that is built into the tool as well. So let's take all those pieces. You have all these different pieces. How can we put those together? Well, if you look on the tool, we have a button that says Battery Change. And the battery change is going to take you step by step through the process to replace that battery. So if we select Battery Change, it's going to tell us where the OBD2 port is located. We can plug into that vehicle. We can gather all the information out of that vehicle. We can go through the process of testing that battery. Then we can go through the process of replacing that battery, doing a post-test on that battery. But on some cars, if we disconnect the battery, we have to do relearns as well. So on my vehicle, if I disconnect the battery, I have to do a relearn process on the driver's door window lift motor. The BT608 will walk you through that process of how to do any resets that are necessary on those vehicles as well. So we really have the complete process built into the tool, everything from initial location to initial test to validation that the new battery replacement is complete and validation that we have done the battery management reset or all of our electrical resets as well. So some pretty cool stuff built into the BT608. So Jonathan, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for introducing us to the new and exciting BT608. However, that's not the only member of this new family of Autel battery testers and electrical analyzers. Can you tell us a little bit more about the other tools that are coming soon to this new product category?
Absolutely, Jonathan. As we said earlier, this is an exciting line of new battery testers from Autel. The MaxiBAS series is going to change the way you think about testing batteries and testing electrical systems. So to do this, I'm going to have to switch this over to a PowerPoint so I can show you all the new products. So let's make me smaller and that bigger. All right, here we go. So we have a total of 4 products in the new line of battery testers and electrical analyzers. And we're going to start with the BT506. So the BT506, This is going to be used with your Android or iOS device, and yes, there will be an app to add to your MaxiBAS tool as well. So you can add a battery tester now to your MaxiBAS product, which is going to be very, very exciting. So you can add this to any of your smart devices. This can test from 100 to 2,000 cold cranking amps and from 6 volt to 12 volt batteries. It also has the ability to test the 12 volt to 24 volt charging systems. This does have battery locations included, and so you'll be able to see those on your smart device. From the BT506, we go to the BT508. And the BT508 has all the same features as the BT506, but we add the V200. That's right, we add a Bluetooth dongle to this device to be able to get all of the VIN information from the car, but also it adds some more features. So it gives you the ability to scan all systems in your select manufacturer. If you want to add more manufacturers to that, you can do that as well. But it also gives us the ability to do battery registration on that select manufacturer. So if you're really only working on a few car lines, this tool may be perfect for you. It can do auto VIN by plugging in our Bluetooth VCI, the V200. And you can email your battery health reports directly from the tool to your customer or to your service writer. Now, we've already talked a lot about the BT608, but let's give you some of those specs again, just so you can see how it compares. Now, the BT608 is really where we start having the screen built into the tool. So we have all those same features that we had talked about before, from 100 to 3,000 cold cranking amps, 6 to 12 volt batteries, 12 to 24 volt charging systems, and the battery location diagrams are going to be built into the tool. It does have the V200 diagnostic Bluetooth connector. So here's where we really step up the game with the BT608. We give you an all system scan, meaning we can read and clear codes in all modules to be able to see those DTCs and to get rid of them. We can do battery registration built into the tool on over 50 different vehicle lines. That is a huge asset to have all in that one tool. We can do our auto VIN, but since the BT608 has a camera built into it, we can also do the VIN scan and plate scan directly from the tool. Of course, our electrical resets are going to be built into this tool, along with the built-in printer. Now, the BT608 is the only tool in the lineup that has a built-in printer. So if that's a main priority for you, this is your solution. Of course, we can email our battery health reports, and we do have the option for adding multimeter cables and an amp clamp. Now, here's where we get into the good stuff. If you want the best of the best when it comes to battery testers, that is the BT609. So the BT609 has all the same features we've talked about, plus more. So the BT609 runs on an Android 9 operating system, and this is a 7-inch touchscreen standalone tablet. We have all maintenance and service resets, including oil life reset, steering angle sensor reset, auto brake bleed, DPF regen, and more. If you think about it, it's basically an MX808 that you know and love, plus we add all the battery tester functions to that. This is going to be an all system scan, read and clear codes, live data, and graphing. So as you can see, Jonathan, there are a lot of great features coming in these new tools that our customers and our sales team are absolutely going to love. Jonathan, back to you.
This new line of battery diagnostic tools looks very exciting. For more information on these products, please visit autel.com or contact your tool and equipment distributor for pricing and availability. Again, I'm Jonathan with Autel Diagnostics. Thank you for joining us.